What is up, FP leaders? Hope you're doing well, having a good last couple days of summer. For those of you that are Maryville schools, sorry to are in Blount County, and you've already started. Sorry about getting a late video out. Had a conference in Birmingham that I was at this past weekend, which was phenomenal. But I took Monday off to hang out with Bryce and the baby. So just kind of get my message finished up this morning, and now I have some thoughts for you guys on what to expect and maybe what to kind of just marinate on. As I kind of walk through this, maybe there's kind of a thing that I'm kind of basing everything off of that you may want to write down just so that you can see it visually. And this is basically what it is. It's come and see, come and hear, come and follow, come and die. So what we're talking about this week is why we do what we do. And so why do we do FP students? Why do we do Sunday mornings? Why do we do small groups? Why do we do events? And really everything kind of falls into this model. And this is not something that Faith Promise came up with. It's not something that I came up with. This is something that the Bible came up with, that Jesus came up with. And so we kind of see this throughout Scripture. You'll see Jesus kind of call people to come and see. Hey, come and see what I'm doing. Come and see where I'm staying. Come and see where I'm living. Come check things out. Come spend some time with me. And Jesus would be at parties, and Jesus would be, just hanging out with people. Come and see the kind of person I am. And really we kind of model everything we do after kind of these several things. So come and see would be a back to school bash, or a summer kickoff, or a 3rd of July event, or a fall fest. Like there's things that we do that are attractional, that we intentionally create opportunities for people to invite people to come and see what church is all about. There's a lot of misconceptions about church, and that they're very weird, and these kind of opportunities give us a chance to let people know that we're not weird, and so that's kind of why we do some of that stuff. So come and see, come and check things out. Some of the stuff that we'll do as a series in December for students, we're doing a At the Movie series, potentially. That will actually allow us to show a movie at the end of the night, and so that's a very low impact, very simple. Hey, come and hear this thing that they're talking about, and then we'll watch a movie after, and they'll give you popcorn kind of thing. So we do these intentional things to say, hey, come and see, come and check things out. Then you see Jesus all the time. Hey, come and hear. Those who have ears, let them hear. You see over and over and over and over through the Bible, everyone say, hey, listen, if you have ears, let them hear. So come and hear what I'm saying. Come and hear what Jesus has to say. You're struggling with how to deal with relationships. Let us talk about that. You're struggling with how to deal with your emotions. Let us talk about that. You're struggling with your parent. Like, hey, we want to talk about it. Well, what does the Bible have to say about that? What does the Bible have to say about a dating relationship? So come and hear. And then in between come and hear and come and follow, there's a shift. And so you go from not trusting Jesus as your Savior to being a Christ follower, somewhere in between in this shift, and you come and follow. And we obviously see Jesus call people to follow him all the time. The disciples, come and follow me, let me make you fishers of men, and he says come and follow. And there's intentional things that there are nights that we intentionally push a little bit harder into the gospel and allow students the opportunity to respond to that. And then obviously small groups. And small groups are there for us to help develop people become better followers of Jesus. I'm in a small group. You guys are in a small group. Precursor of what I'm going to say on Wednesday. I am almost certain that this is true. And if not, it needs to be. I think in our training we talk about the need for you to be in a small group, to be a leader here. If that is not true, then I will make that a part of that, and we'll start to kind of have conversations about that. But man, if you're not in a small group, we need you to be in a small group. And the reason is if you're not in a small group, if you're not growing, then your students can't grow. I'm in a small group. Mike Doolin is my small group leader. I will go to small group tonight, and we will hang out. And because if I'm not growing, you can't grow. If you can't grow, students can't grow. If students can't grow, then why are we here? Right? So there's come and follow. I daily want to try to be a better follower of Jesus. That's why we do small group. And then there's come and die. And this is a more difficult kind of shift. And I believe that you can be a follower of Jesus and never step into this last season. And I think that's a terrible life to live. That's a less than ideal life that Jesus has for you, because ultimately he wants you to live the full life, and you can't live a full life without stepping in to come and die. Now, Jesus daily kind of calls us to die to ourselves. Hey, I'm going to look less like Brad today than I did yesterday, and I'm going to look more like Jesus today than I did yesterday, and so on through the rest of my life. And now Jesus continues to call me to say no to things and die to things and surrender things, and that's kind of the Christian walk, and so that's our next step. So if there's something that we're kind of equating that to in the church, there's always a next step for somebody. If you're new to church, man, we want you to come in and check out Next Steps, the Next Steps class. If you've been to Next Steps, and man, we want you to get plugged in serving. If you're serving, we want you to come and join a small group. If you're joined a small group, then we want you to lead a small group. If you're leading a small group, then we want you to be on a mission trip. If you've been on a mission trip, we want you to lead a mission trip. Like, there's just never ending. If you haven't said yes to Jesus, obviously this is the first one. I should have started with this one. You had said yes to Jesus, we want you to say yes to Jesus. You have been baptized, we want you to baptize. Like, there's just continually a next step for everyone. The pastor talked about tithing. That's a next step. There's next steps in tithing. Like, there's just things that every day you have to say, hey, listen, man, I'm not giving, and I'm gonna die to myself and say no to me and start giving to the church. I'm a tither. I'm gonna die to myself and say that I can live on less because God has blessed me, and I'm not just going to give a tithe. I'm going to give more because Jesus has given more to me. So there's always next steps, and that's kind of that come and die mantra, and really I'm going to kind of end this night with really a challenge, man. I honestly think that there's some students and maybe some of you leaders that are living in a stage that you shouldn't be in anymore, if that's fair. Maybe those students or you have been here and you've lived in come and follow, and you need to step in, come and die, and you just keep saying no. That's not what we need. We need leaders, and we need students that are willing to say, yes, I'm willing to die to myself because of what Jesus has done in me, is doing through me, is going to do. Like, I'm so bought into him that I'm going to charge the gates of hell for the people around me because of what Jesus has just so radically changed in me. And maybe there's students that have been there and they've been and come in here for too long, and they need to come and follow. They need to step in to come and follow, and they need to follow Jesus maybe for the first time. So there's that, and I'll probably talk a little bit about the lost, and man, we're just about the lost, and kind of the difference between a youth group and a student ministry. Is a youth group is about the people that are in it, and a student ministry are about the people that aren't. And we're not a youth group, and we never will be. And there's some churches that do that, and that's fine. They can do that, and it's it's not my place to judge. But for us, for Faith Promise Church, we are going to be a student ministry. We're going to be a ministry that reaches out and that looks out and that's pulling people in, not so that we can fill seats, not so that we have big numbers, not so that we have a full room, but because Jesus died on the cross for me, died for my sins, has made my life better. And I want to draw more people into that. I want to bring as much glory to his name as possible. And ultimately, that's my role, my purpose in life. So hopefully that makes sense. I basically just taught it to you because I'm so excited about it. I'm very, very pumped for what it means for us this year. Something that's a little bit different with tomorrow is we're not going to have worship, so that's not as much fun. But it's all right. We're going to do some guided prayer. I'm going to have, hopefully I'm going to have the cinder blocks of all the schools that we used at Fusion around the room, and we're just going to kind of gather and pray at each thing. If you go to Maryville High School, you go to the Maryville one. If you go to William Blount, you go to William Blount, and so on and so forth. So we're gonna pray for maybe 6-7 minutes like that. I encourage you to be with your students and pray with your students, kind of intercede on their behalf. But yeah, should be a phenomenal night. I want to talk about the bash real quick. Please talk to your students about this. This is going to be a night that we have everybody come at 6:20 instead of 7 if you're a high school leader. We're going to start promptly at 6:30-ish, but tell them 6:20 because there'll be a lot of people trying to get here. It'll be a shorter service, and then we'll kind of just go mess around outside and have fun the rest of the night. But everybody needs to be here at 6:20. I'm going to put something on Instagram so that everybody knows that. Should be awesome. Something else. Yes, the leader dinner night. I'm excited, but I've had several questions about the apparel for this evening. This is going to be a formal dinner. I would love for you to dress in your formal wear. I will be in a tuxedo. Guys, I would love to see you in a suit. Ladies, this is a reason to buy a new dress and new shoes. You're welcome. You're welcome. Brad Scarberry, making your life better. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be funny. We're going to get to laugh. We're going to get to cry. We're going to talk about what next year has, and we're going to talk about kind of what has happened this past year. So I could not be more excited about it. It's going to be a blast. So please, please, please be there. If you have not RSVP'd, please RSVP. Megan, if you could, go ahead and attach the link to this email after I send it. And that way everybody has that. But listen, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be a blast. Even if you have to come late, come late. But yeah, it's going to be super fun. Give some awards out. Zach will be here. Be a blast. Yeah. All right. I love you guys. This is one of my longest videos, but it's because I'm so excited about tomorrow night. Miss you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I will see you soon. Hey, seriously, I just love you guys. You're so much fun. Just could not ask for a better team of people to hang out with. Goodness, just so much fun. I feel so blessed. So sincerely love you guys. Excited for what this year has. Man, God's just gonna freaking blow the roof off this place. It's gonna be so cool. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this before I start crying. I love you guys. I'll see you later.